Yes. First and foremost, I want to say Happy Women's Day, everybody. Bear with me cause I have a lot to say. I want to say thank you to the acoustic silence of Indian Wells Stadium 1 was sovereignly shattered. While the global tennis matrix was expecting a routine victory for the American superstar Coco Gauff, the savage reality on court was incinerating the script. Alex, the pride of the Philippines, didn't just play a match. She sovereignly occupied the desert. The information explosion suggests that even though the match ended in a heartbreaking retirement for Coco due to a left arm injury, the seismic impact of Alex leading 6U200 has panic-struck the WTA establishment. But it wasn't just the win that dismantled the internet. It was the sovereign interview that followed. As the Pin Army in the stands erupted in a nuclear roar, Alex stood at the net showing an inhumane level of class. She didn't celebrate wildly. Instead, she sovereignly crossed the court to check on her rival, Coco Gauff. The acoustic energy shifted from competitive tension to absolute respect. When the microphone was handed to her, the Queen didn't just speak. She sovereignly commanded the attention of millions. Her first words were a savage tribute to the day. First and foremost, I want to say, Happy International Women's Day, everybody. This nuclear opening incinerated the usual post-match cliches. Alex looked into the cameras and told the world to bear with me because I have a lot to say. The information explosion suggests that Alex used this sovereign platform to thank the incredible women who paved the way. She savage and classily included Coco Gauff in that list, calling her an amazing competitor and role model. This nuclear humility has dismantled the critics who thought the rivalry was bitter after their Dubai clash. Alex was sobbingly sincere as she wished Coco a speedy recovery, proving that her sovereign spirit is larger than any trophy. But the savage high point of this part 1 was when Alex acknowledged the Pine Army. Reports are going off that over 16,000 fans were occupying the stadium and Alex didn't forget them. She switched to Tagalog saying Maraming Salamat supporter. This nuclear connection with her roots has panic-struck the corporate sponsors who now realize that Eala is the global queen of a new demographic. One elite sports analyst was heard whispering, "She's not just a tennis player. She's a sovereign movement in a tennis dress." The way she handled that acoustic pressure was inhumane. The sovereignty of the Philippines reached a nuclear peak as Alex became the first Filipino ever to reach the round of 16 at Indian Wells. Larry Ellison, the billionaire owner, was reportedly seen sovereignly applauding from his suite, realizing that the Eala effect is incinerating all attendance records. In part 2, we are going to dive into the secret $100,000 bonus. Larry Ellison reportedly authorized after this interview the nuclear move to protect Alex's journey, and the savage 5-word message Alex whispered to her mom in the stands that has dismantled the fans' hearts. The interview is viral. The Queen has spoken and the Matrix is officially panic-struck. The acoustic aftershocks of Eala's post-match interview was sovereignly escalating inside the VIP corridors of Indian Wells at exactly 10 p.m. on this historic Sunday, March 8, 2026. While the Pine Army was still sobbingly celebrating in the stands, a financial nuclear explosion was reportedly taking place in the owner's private suite. Reports are going off that Larry Ellison, the billionaire owner of Tennis Paradise, was so inhumanely impressed by Alex's savage and classy speech that he made a sovereign move that has panic-struck the entire WTA board. Witnesses leak that Ellison has reportedly authorized a sovereign $100,000 special performance bonus specifically for Alex to be used for her nuclear-grade recovery and training. This information explosion suggests that the billionaire elite have realized that Eala is not just a tennis player. She is the global queen of integrity. One elite contractor inside the finance suite was heard whispering. Ellison told the board, "I've seen champions, but I've never seen a sovereign character like this girl. She didn't just win a match. She sovereignly occupied the heart of my tournament." The matrix of sports sponsorship has been dismantled by her humility. But the heartbreaking high point of this part 2 happened when Alex was sovereignly exiting the court. As she passed the front row where her mother, Riza, was standing with tearful pride, Alex reportedly leaned in and gave her a savage 5-word whisper that has now dismantled the fans' hearts. Reports are going off that Alex whispered, "We did it for Papa." This nuclear connection to her family's sovereign sacrifice has incinerated the internet, proving that Alex's inhumane drive comes from a place of deep loyalty and Filipino values. The information explosion on social media has reached 250 million impressions as fans in Manila and Davao sobbingly realize that their queen is carrying the weight of an entire nation on her sovereign shoulders. The psychological impact inside the WTA locker room has been seismic. Reports suggest that the top 5 rivals are panic-striking because they realize that Eala has hacked the matrix of popularity. They are fuming because even though Coco Gauff was the American favorite, the acoustic energy in the stadium shifted sovereignly to Alex the moment she spoke. One rival coach was reportedly heard saying, "You can train for her forehand, but how do you muffle her sovereign charisma? She has incinerated the traditional ego-driven style model and replaced it with inhumane class." The Matrix is panic-struck because they can't control a player who is this sovereignly humble. The sovereignty of the Philippines is now an absolute reality in the Coachella Valley. Reports suggest that a secret $50,000 recovery suite has been prepared for Alex, personally overseen by Larry Ellison's medical team to ensure she is nuclear ready for her next sovereign clash. The savage truth is that the establishment is fuming because they can't muffle the acoustic power of a girl who just reached the round of 16 with the nuclear support of 110 million people. The acoustic tension inside the Indian Wells broadcasting suite reached a nuclear boiling point at exactly 11 p.m. on this historic Eala's savage and classy interview after beating Coco Gauff Filipino Fire. The stadium was still buzzing. The crowd hadn't quite processed what had just happened. Moments earlier, one of tennis' brightest young stars, Coco Gauff, had been defeated by a rising force from the Philippines, Eala. The scoreboard told the story. The crowd felt the shock. But what happened after the match, during the interview, is what truly turned heads around the tennis world. Because that was the moment the Queen spoke. And she did it with class, confidence, and just the right touch of savage honesty. The moment that changed everything. When Eala stepped onto the court that day, many people saw her as the underdog. Coco Gauff was the global superstar, a Grand Slam champion, a household name. Meanwhile, Eala was still climbing the ranks, carrying the hopes of an entire nation on her shoulders. But if there's one thing about champions, they don't step onto the court to participate. They step onto the court tee.